So, welcome to another episode of the Swamp Inside Florida Athletics. I'm your co-host Anthony Becker, on my other co-host.
Jerry Brown, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. And as y'all can see, we are a little short-handed tonight. Prayers up for Marcus. He had a family emergency pop up, so prayers up to him. Hopefully, everything's all right. But we have a special guest joining us tonight. Long time no see, from Rivals.com, first and 10 Florida, on the Rivals.com website. We have, and also, what's the Rutgers site called again?
The Night Report.
The Night Report from Rivals.com. We have Hector Rodriguez joining us. Hector, you know he's cheating on Florida. How you doing tonight, man?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I mean, we were good until we found out you were cheating on Florida with Rutgers. I mean,
God.
This has been going on for 2 years. Come on, man.
It has
We've
been.
known this for 2 years.
This has
This
been
is my third season with Rutgers baseball.
This man got family with Florida. He got a side family with Rutgers. I can't believe this.
Outside family.
This is a Maury show special right here. I'm just kidding. Please don't end up on that show. Nobody, please. But yeah, this is gonna probably be a crazy episode with all the shenanigans that have gone on. Some shenanigans we can't talk about, we won't speak on. Other shenanigans we kind of can speak on, but we will also brighten everything up by doing a baseball preview because the season starts in 29 days. I'm pretty sure fans are finally excited about that, but yeah, let's kind of go ahead and jump into some of these shenanigans. So Hector, yeah, we've had transfer portal talk. So there's been some good news that we've landed some guys from the transfer portal in recent weeks. So one of those guys being Micah, how do you pronounce his last name? Micah Mazuka. Is that how you pronounce it?
I'm still trying to learn how to pronounce that.
Well.
Yeah, that one's tough.
I don't know how to say this name.
Yeah, he's transferring in from Baylor. We landed Damian George, who's transferring in from Alabama. Terada Mitchell, linebacker, who's transferring in from Ohio State. Knew about Graham Mertz from Wisconsin already, but with some of these transfers, and Cameron Jackson, can't forget about him from Memphis, who I'm really, really high on, by the way, and Caleb Banks from Louisville. So they've hit on some of their spots in trying to address this roster. So Hector, which one of these guys do you feel like can come in and make the biggest impact?
I definitely think Mike is going to be the guy that comes in and makes the biggest impact. He's done the most at at Baylor. He was a very good player there. PFF was very high on him. And I think he's going to be a guy that's going to come in and he's going to probably be your starting left guard. I think he comes in, he'll replace Ethan White and kind of Osiris Torrance, even though I see Richie Leonard taking over at right guard. Florida basically needed offensive line. I think they got a really good one, and it was a surprise because, to be honest with you, everyone expected him to go to Nebraska because he had that prior relationship with Coach Matt Rule, and excuse me, his brother also is at Nebraska. So it was very surprising to see him coming to Florida. I honestly wasn't ready for it. I had a tweet ready just in case, but I wasn't around my phone when he made his commitment. And so, like 3 minutes after he made his commitment, I got on my phone. All of a sudden, I see notifications that Mike is committed to Florida, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta hit this tweet real quick."
Yeah.
Because it was definitely a surprise. Like I said, I anticipated Nebraska. I thought Florida had a better chance with John Campbell than they did with Micah, but Florida got the job done at the end of the day. That was a big pickup. I like Cameron Jackson a lot. I think he's a guy that's going to be an immediate starter. I think a lot of these guys are going to be starters. I think, Damian George will probably be your starting right tackle. I think you move Austin Barber to left tackle. I really like what I saw out of him. I think Mitchell's going to be one of your starting linebackers with Samar James. I think if Mitchell can stay healthy, I think he's going to be better than most people anticipate. I think Graham Mertz is going to be your starting quarterback. As of now, there's not really much else that you have on your depth chart. It's Max Brown and Jack Miller. So we'll see what happens. And when it comes to Caleb Banks, I think he'll be a nice depth piece. and the Michigan linebacker is going to be another depth. They're going to be another depth piece because he, like I said, I think Mitchell starts. He's got a great leadership. I think he'll play a little bit of that Ventrell role. He might not play like Ventrell Miller, but I think his leadership and his high football IQ is something that really got Florida's coaching staff interested in him. And I think that's a big reason why he'll be a huge part of Florida's class, and also just a great guy to have in the locker room. And that's important when you're trying to build a new culture.
For sure.
Right. Jerry, what about you?
I was really excited about seeing that Michigan linebacker transfer to us because I believe the kid has a few years left of eligibility as well. And I think he can fill a definite need that we've had for a while, just having big linebackers that can make plays. Mitchell is another one, like Hector was talking about, come in and, he has pretty much a good amount of experience. So I look forward to seeing what he can do at his position. Anytime we get depth on the offensive line or defensive line, I am ecstatic. So Max Cool, I think that was huge. And kid from Alabama, George, that's also going to be huge, man. So I think we have a lot to replace with Osiris Torrance and, Ethan White. But I think with those recent transfers, man, we should be able to have guys feeling pretty smoothly. And I think they'll be all right, honestly. And Mertz, I'm not too sure what to expect from Mertz. I've seen some bad INTs, but I've also seen some flashes of talent. So I'm kind of whatever about him. I'm just ready to see what he does.
I'm gonna give Mertz a chance. I'm gonna give him a chance.
I mean, you might not really have a choice.
Yeah, well, we don't.
That's very true.
Yeah,
he's better than Jack Miller, I'm sure.
Yeah. By the way, the linebacker Deuce Spurlock, the kid from Michigan, is actually got all 4 years. He redshirted this year,
right?
So he's basically like signing another high school recruit with a little bit of college experience because he played 2 games at Michigan.
That's really high with him too. Like I really like what I saw. I went back and looked at his high school film and really liked what I saw. So you said what?
Physical. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a guy. I hate to be that guy, but like David Reese, maybe a little bit quicker.
Which one?
One.
33.
Speaking of the other David Reese, shout out to him. He ended up committing the cow, so shout out to him.
Oh, yeah, shout out to him for sure.
That's a good spot for him.
Yeah. He never got to, seize the opportunity at UF, unfortunately, but he seemed like a great kid when we had him on the podcast, so I'm wishing him the best.
Yeah, he had some injury issues in the beginning of his Florida career, and that probably didn't help him, as he was trying to climb the depth chart.
It did not. Absolutely not.
It didn't. And for me, I would say Micah Mazuka, that's cool. However the heck you pronounce his name. Think he comes in and makes the biggest impact. I think I read something where they said he was actually the second highest rated guard in the country, actually right behind Osiris Torrance. So I think he comes in and makes the biggest impact. And I like what I saw on film from Cameron Jackson as well. So I love what he brings to the table. I think it's going to be really those two because as we always say on here, starts with the trenches. That's where you want improvement.
Always and forever will.
So those two guys, I think I see coming in, making the biggest impact. And with Graham Mertz, hey, look, like I said, I'm going to give him a chance. There were some bad interceptions, but like you said, Jared, there was also some flash there too.
Yeah.
I'm going to be objective. Know how the fan base is. I know how the fan base can be. I've seen the message boards and
toxic behavior, bro. Just gotta tune it out.
The vitriol that he gets, a lot of it's unnecessary. But I understand as a fan, you want the best of the best. Because I do as well. But I'm gonna give him a chance. We're gonna see what happens. If he turns out to be a really good quarterback, a really solid quarterback for us, and we win games, I'm good. If not, you gotta hit the drawing board again.
I'm gonna ask you, AB and Hector. So do y'all see this kind of being like a Austin Appleby type transfer or a little bit better?
I hope to God not all. Shout out to Austin Appleby. And
Who
shout
was
out
the
to him
kid,
because
bro?
he actually got a head not head coach. He's actually an assistant at UAB now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the wide receiver coach.
Yeah,
Wow.
he just got the job there. So shouts out to him if you're watching. That's a great spot for him on Trent Dilfer's staff. I like the move, but yeah, I hope it's not that kind of situation.
At the end of the day, you know, Florida's not really going to lean on their passing game. It's going to be Montrell Johnson or Travis Etienne to the left, to the right, and right up the middle.
Montrell Johnson and who?
What?
Montrell Johnson and who?
Trevor Etienne.
You said Travis, so I thought he had some
My bad,
other,
my bad.
like
Same
I-
name, same letter of the first name, Trevor Etienne.
Same running style. It's all good.
yeah,
Good
can
brothers,
we
man.
for next year real quick? Do double duty.
Yeah. Trevor.
Yeah,
And I think Florida's going to be landing, just so you guys know, I think Florida's going to be landing a commitment from the portal sometime in the near future. Not going to say who it is or who it could be, but there is some rumblings about Florida possibly landing another recruit from the portal. I'm not sure if he'd be able to enroll in spring because it might be a little too late for that.
That would be huge.
If it's at a position I think you're talking about, info I just got, that may not happen.
It's a depth piece, and at the end of the day, I don't view this guy as a starter.
I'm gonna see something. Hold on.
Should I go to my DMs right now?
Yeah, but yeah, looking at, I'll say this: looking at the pieces that we did land, we did hit on positions and add depth. So I like that we did that, but we still need more playmakers as well. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't really landed anybody at the wide receiver position because I think that's the position we need to hit.
Yes, I think who we're looking at being wide receiver one. Xavier Henderson.
It's going to be Ricky Pearsall since he's back.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Pearsall's coming back. Yeah. So we have Pearsall, Xavier,
And Frazier's.
and Frazier's.
I want to see him. I want to see him next year too, because I kind of felt like with that after the Texas A&M game, of course he got hurt, and it's like we didn't see him anymore because of the injury. I'm like, man, I think he could have been a guy that against Florida State we could have easily used.
Dude, all we need was some wide receivers in that game, but I digress.
No, and Florida's got a nice recruiting class of wide receivers. I think Eugene Wilson is a guy that can come in and make an immediate impact.
Special.
Yeah.
I can't see him play, man.
Yeah, I think getting him. I know one of the websites just rated him as a 5-star.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very high on the kid, and I think the kid's going to be a really welcome addition. He'll probably have the earliest impact in this recruiting class, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I definitely say as well. I mean, the kid is quick, shifty. He has breakaway speed. He has everything you want in a slot receiver. Anybody like that, that you have on offense that you can get the ball to consistently. I mean, he has everything you want. So I'm excited about that kid right there.
But I think Andy Jenkins can sneak in and get some playing time next year as well. Because
Andy Jean, right?
Yeah, Andy Jean, because his route running is some of the best route running I've seen from any wide receiver in this class. He's not a burner, but faster than a lot of people think. And just silky smooth receiver. I really like what I've seen from him. I think he can really come in and make an impact next year as well. Him and Eugene Wilson.
I think maybe if Ricky didn't come back, that would be a little bit more of a possibility. But with Ricky coming back and then being kind of very similar at wide receiver, I feel like you got to give the ball to Ricky. Ricky's got to be on the field 90% of the snaps if need be. So it just really depends on. And I think Eugene Wilson plays this, as a slot just like Andy Jean.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Eugene will get reps over Andy Jean, and until Andy Jean, until Ricky leaves, I don't think we'll see too much of Andy. But I do like him a lot. He's very shifty as a wide receiver, creates a lot of separation, and I mean, he played a really tough schedule at Miami Northwestern, and he was able to ball out against quality competition.
Of course. I hope we get to see a little bit of Mizell because Mizell he'll come in and he might be one of the fastest wide receivers we have, like top 3.
I know.
Get the
I
job.
know he was hurt. We got to see just
That's right.
if he's going to be ready. What?
I forgot he was hurt.
Yeah, we just got to see if he'll even be able to play in spring. I know he's on campus. Yeah. It just depends if he's healthy enough for spring ball. But we'll see. You know, at least he gets a head start with the playbook. Starts, learning that.
Mm-hmm.
Way to get the job done, Gerald.
Oh my gosh! Enough. It's 2023. Come on, come on, brother.
Well, I mean, you had some work to put in, so. But I just speak the truth. But yeah, Hector, you might want to check your DMs and see if I'm right.
No, I already saw who. It's who I'm thinking about.
Yep, I figured.
Yeah,
I got that. See. I got that earlier tonight. So, yeah. Looking at everything, let's go ahead and I would want to bring up the basketball team, but I'm a little too. My eyes are sore right now watching that. We can't do that tonight. That's a little too fresh for me. But let's go ahead and transition into baseball because Hector, this is your bag, and we know you've been out there watching fall ball and everything. And also the Marlins whenever you can with the box seats and dugout seats that you somehow get.
Must be nice.
I don't know where all this extra money came from.
Press passes. That's different.
He's got press passes. I don't know where this extra money came from.
It's called getting. I don't know how. It's not even. I don't even pay. Hell, I have to pay for parking. I get press passes to games.
Ain't no way in the world. I write for this darn team. Y'all gonna make me pay to park?
Yep. Well, they're gonna try to fix that this offseason because it's not the Marlins because the city of Miami owns the parking lots that charges everybody. It's not the Marlins. Oh, but they're gonna try to fix that because for spring training I don't have to pay for parking. I just show the guy a pass and they let me through.
Yeah, and real quick before we do this transition, speaking of Miami and Marlins Park, since you're down there pretty much, can you set up a Heat game down in Marlins Park so they can break that attendance record that was set? Can you help set that up?
Well, I mean, wait till the World Baseball Classic happens in Miami. That's going to be incredible. That's
going to be crazy. I cannot wait for that.
If the Dominican Republic plays against the United States, that game will be sold out within 2 hours.
Yeah, that will be big. That will be huge.
That will be huge. And
especially if Sandy pitches for the Dominican team and Nestor Cortez pitches for the American team. Because that will be the entire city of Miami will try to, and also the city of Hialeah will try to attend that game.
I'm gonna be completely honest. If that game happens and Sandy Alcantara pitches, I'm gonna be a little afraid. Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, he's hard enough to hit on the video game. Imagine trying to hit him in real life.
Well, just ask Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. They'll tell you how hard he is to see, his pitches.
This is nasty stuff. But speaking of nasty pitchers, looking at this for the baseball team, yeah, we landed Southern Miss pitcher. I think his name is, what is his name? Hunter Walter?
Hudson Waldrep.
Hudson Waldrep. We landed him from Southern Miss. He was their ace pitcher. He's now coming to Florida. The join Brandon Sproat in his lineup, and I'm assuming Pierce Capala, I would hope.
Yeah, I view Capala as a third arm.
Yeah, first of all, if we get the Capala that we saw before he missed basically the rest of the season, next season, I love that three-headed monster in that rotation right there. So tell us a little bit about Hudson because I watched Southern Miss play a couple games last year with him pitching, and to me personally, he's got some of the best stuff in the country.
Yeah, so Hudson Waldrep, he's not the biggest guy. He's maybe like 6'1", 6'2", maybe $180, $190, but two really elite pitches. He's got a big-time fastball that's been clocked in the upper 90s. We'll touch 98 to 99. You'll see that in the swamp in Florida. And then he also has one of the best sliders in the country. He's got a great slider. It's probably his favorite strikeout pitch that's not the fastball. Has pretty decent feel for the changeup, and also has I think he calls it a cutter. He's got a 4 pitch mix, so he's a kid that I anticipate will, he'll be the number 2 starter for Florida because Brandon Sproat will be the ace. He's coming back after being drafted as a 3rd-round pick, 90th overall to the Mets. He was the highest draft pick that decided not to sign and actually went back to Florida. So, it's big, that's a huge addition. Sproat, if he shows what he showed in the second half of last season, if he puts that together this season, Florida's going to have one of the most dangerous pitching staffs and one of the best power arms in the country because you got Sproat on Friday, Waldrop on Saturday, and I anticipate that Pierce Capalla will be the Sunday starter. Basically, he's big time lefty. Reminds me of AJ Puck, and his back is healed up. So I think he had a healthy fall. He looked pretty good, and I know Florida's coming into coming back from winter break very healthy, so they should be 100% and ready to go for the upcoming season.
Yeah, and see, we already know about those names, and of course Wyatt Langford, who I believe is going to be a Golden Spikes Award candidate this year because I think he's going to pick up where he left off from last season. So, so we know about those guys. Who is somebody that we should be on the lookout for that, whether they be a freshman or somebody that played last year that you think can take the next step this year?
One guy I'm interested in seeing is Tyler Shelna. He was a JUCO transfer, was actually originally committed to Florida in the 2020 recruiting class, but because everybody coming back, Florida had number issues, and they weren't able to accept Shelna, and he actually went the JUCO round, ended up recommitting to Florida as a JUCO player, had an awesome season, ended up being tied for first in the state of Florida in home runs. He had like 18 home runs last season at Santa Fe. I think he'll be the starting first baseman. If not, he'll probably DH. It really just depends on what Florida wants to do with Jack Caglione, who I think is, one of the best two-way players in the country. Obviously, you saw what he can do with we haven't seen the arm yet since he had Tommy John surgery in high school, but this was a guy that MLB scouts were viewing him more as a pitcher than a hitter, and we already seen what he can do as a hitter. He was a 280 hitter with incredible, just raw power. I think we're going to see a lot more of what he's capable of. I think we see him more as a bullpen arm. I would love to see him as a closer because I feel like he's a guy that you could just put at first base for 8 innings, and then you bring him in the 9th to close the game out for you.
Right, and Jack Caglione is a guy that's one guy I was interested in looking at because, especially from a pitching standpoint, because of what you said. I mean, I remember this guy before the Tommy John surgery. I'll just say this, and I think you said this last year as well, Hector. This guy's not even supposed to be on campus right now.
No, if he didn't have Tommy John surgery, he would have been a 3rd-round pick, most likely.
Holy crap.
And he would not be on campus. So
yeah, he got Tommy John surgery 2 weeks before the draft.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So it was very bad luck. At least it came out 2 weeks before the draft that his elbow needed TJ. Another couple guys I'm interested in. Kate Kirtland was supposed to be a senior in high school this year. Ended up reclassifying. He enrolled early. He's a freshman this year, middle infielder. Family, long line of Gators, including two of his uncles played football at Florida. The kid's a beast. Kid's got incredible bat speed, good hands, line drive approach, hits to all fields. I think he's a guy that if he doesn't, I think he'll play a ton this year. I don't know if he'll be the starting. I don't know if he'll be a starter, but he was a guy that was a top 30 player in his class before he, enrolled early at Florida. Another kid that I'm a big fan of is Dale Thomas, Coastal Carolina transfer. I anticipate he'll be the 2nd baseman or 3rd baseman for Florida this upcoming season. Had really nice production at Coastal Carolina. Good combination of power and contact. And Sully actually asked BT Riopel his opinion on Dale, and BT gave him like a a seal of approval, a stamp of approval, whatever it is. And another kid, and it's actually a kid that I actually covered at Rutgers, Richie Shekoffer. He was the starting right fielder at Rutgers. He's now at Florida. Rutgers offense, if you knew college baseball, Rutgers offense was potent last year. They were top 5 in the country in a lot of offense categories, especially batting average. They were easily the best hitting team in the Big Ten. And Shekoffer wasn't one of the top guys, but he was their 8th batter, and he was still batting like 316. He's a good contact hitter, left-handed hitter, plays pretty good defense. I think he'll be a 4th outfielder for the Gators, but he's a guy that could be a starter at most universities. I think if I'm looking at the infield today, BT Ryatal behind the plate. I'm going to go Tyler Sheldon at first. Second base, Colby Alter. I think we're going to see a much better version of him because he absolutely killed it in the Cape Cod League and almost got drafted because of it, because he performed that well. He was an all-star there. Josh Rivera at short. Dale Thomas at third. Langford at left field. Michael Robertson at center field. He'll replace Judd Fabian. Michael Robertson was a freshman last year, suffered an injury, so he didn't play at all last year. So he'll be a redshirt freshman. Elite speed, absolute elite speed. He's going to cover a lot of ground on the defense. Might even be your leadoff hitter for this upcoming season. And in right field, Ty Evans. We saw a little bit of him last year. He's got some nice power. Just want to see him take the next step, make a little bit more contact. And at DH, I'm going with Jack Caglione.
Now, there was one name that you did not mention, and it leads me into the question of what happens with Derek Fabian.
I think there's just a lot of talent. I think Derek is going to be a depth piece. I think we'll see him like in some midweek games. He also had an injury. He got hurt. Just some bad luck. He took a ball to the face. I believe it was either him or Alter. One of them broke a hand. The other one got hit in the face. Either way, both kids are perfectly fine now, and they're going to be, they'll be 100% for the season. But like I said, this Cade Kirtland kid's come in early, and he's grabbing a lot of people's attention. Some people even view him as starting over Dale Thomas, but I know how much Sully values veteranship, being a veteran and all that, and I think Dale's got the edge when it comes to Cade. But I think we will see a lot of Cade Kirtland this season.
Oh, and you also did not mention another name as a depth piece. Florida quarterback Max Brown.
Bro.
Yes.
Yeah, Max.
I'm like, I didn't realize he was playing.
Yeah, he's a baseball player. He played in high school. Was actually like one of the top players in Oklahoma.
Wow.
I think he was a top 10 player, and according to Perfect Game in his class out of the state of Oklahoma. But I mean, this is a really good team. I think, you have other guys like Matt Prevesk, who played a lot last year. I think you'll see a lot of him this year. Tucker Talbot. I think you might see Max as a pinch runner a lot this year because he does have plus speed. So we'll see about that. But, Matt, it's going to be tough going from not touching a baseball in Lord knows how many months to stepping back on the baseball diamond and expecting early playing time.
Right. Yeah, that is true. I mean, he hasn't played in a couple of years, so.
No, he played his senior year.
Well, he didn't. Well, yeah. Well, I guess what I was saying is he didn't play. He enrolled. Yeah, he didn't early enroll, so never mind. He didn't. So, but I'm interested in seeing how they use him. I mean, as a pinch runner, I'm interested in seeing that because there are going to be some situations where, you do need speed on the base pass. So, looking at his football film, you can tell he does have that plus speed.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing that, and maybe when DJ Lagway gets here, pretty sure he'll get playing. Like if he does play baseball, where do you see him playing?
Lagway maybe in the outfield. I see him. He's a good athlete. I feel like he can cover some ground in the outfield. Let me see where they have him on Perfect Game because I haven't heard too much about him like as a baseball player. Yeah, they got him down as a outfielder. That's what I thought.
Okay.
And I imagine he'd be a corner outfielder because he's got pretty good size. He's like 6'3", a little bit over 200. I imagine they'll probably throw him if he ever was to play at Florida. We'll see how long that lasts. I think he would be thrown in right field. But I know Florida that Sully and Chuck Girolamo are anticipating for him to enroll at Florida as a dual athlete.
Yeah, and I think Billy Napier will let him. I think Billy Napier actually will let him play baseball as well. It's just the only thing is when spring football comes up,
That's
then
real tough.
that's when it's
Yeah.
going to be a little tough. I mean,
It
I know
just really you got to see what FSU. I mean, Jameis did it with FSU for a year,
Yeah.
but we'll see because I feel like Florida might have to count on DJ as soon as he gets there. He might be a guy that you throw in day one.
no, that
It
could
could be.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just interested in seeing because football players usually playing baseball. It's always interesting because you can tell, even especially with quarterbacks, you can tell some of them do have a baseball background.
Mm-hmm.
When we had Felipe Franks, you can tell he had a baseball background. You know, Max Brown, you can just see the throwing motion. You can tell it's a baseball background. Same with DJ Ladwick. You can
Yep.
tell
It's
some of these guys.
absolutely.
Tom Brady was drafted by the Montreal Expos.
He should have played baseball. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
Johnny Manziel was a baseball player. He got drafted by the San Diego Padres. Russell Wilson's a Yankee.
Oh. Russell Wilson was drafted by the Yankees, wasn't he?
No, I believe he was drafted by the Texas Rangers
The
and then
Rangers.
got traded to the Yankees.
Yeah, to the Yankees. You know, Russell's not doing nothing right now. Yeah, you want to join the Yankees organization for a little
Get
bit?
out of here, bro.
Are you that desperate?
I mean,
Because I've seen Russell Wilson. I mean, I'm pretty sure Russell Wilson was a good player at some point, but not anymore. And also, Fields used to be a really good baseball player. Justin Fields was a top baseball player, and Kyler Murray, obviously. Kyler Murray drafted in the first round in both.
pick.
What?
Kyler Murray was the 8th overall pick.
He was something like that. I think 9th by the. I know he got drafted by Oakland.
Yeah,
Remember, he got drafted by the Oakland A's.
he was really, really good, though. I remember watching him at Oklahoma, and yeah, he was actually really, really good.
Yeah.
So, see it.
I mean, the goal with him was to draft him early and hope that he develops more as a ball player as he starts going away from football. You know, he turns his body into more of a baseball player's body instead of a football player's body. But I mean, he had the season he had and became the first overall pick.
And by the way, Hector, the Yankees are not desperate. They don't need Russell Wilson. They re-signed Aaron Judge. They're good. They got Carlos Rodon. They're good.
Yeah.
So they're doing fine. They may get Brian Reynolds. They may get Brian Reynolds from Pittsburgh. I don't know. They're asking for the darn farm for some reason.
Yeah, because the Pittsburgh Pirates are incredibly don't want to move him. So if they're going to move him, they're going to make you spend a ton because the Marlins have been involved in Brian Reynolds since last offseason.
We'll give you Aaron Hicks and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and call it a day.
That's every single Yankee fan's offer, and I wouldn't even take cash consideration. You could throw in $100 million, and I still wouldn't take that offer.
You throwing $100 million, they're gonna take that. Like, oh, we got free agent money here. Okay.
You also got some dead weight in your roster that you're going to have to spend some of that $100 million on.
Just trying to get him off the Yankees right now, but another player I'm interested in seeing. You know, him in his second year is Blake Purnell. You know, we saw him a lot as a reliever, and you know, he has the funky arm motion, but it works. But when he came in, for the most part, he was a shutdown reliever, whether he was a closer or he came in as a setup guy eventually. So, like, how is it looking for him? Like, how do you think What do you think he develops into? Do you think he challenges for the closing spot, or do you see him more as a guy, you bring in like the 7th and 8th inning before you bring the closer in?
I definitely view him as more of a mid-relief arm, maybe a 6th, 7th inning guy, maybe an 8th inning guy, depending on, what type of lineup you're seeing. If you're seeing a heavy right-handed hitters, heavy right-handed hitters part of the order, you definitely want to go to him because he's going to pitch really deep inside and try to break some bats. But I mean, you have the JUCO transfer in Cled Artzog, who's one of the favorites to be the closer. I'm a big fan of Jack Caglione. You have a couple other guys that I think are capable bullpen arms, like Ryan Slater. I think you're going to see some of one of the freshmen, Jay Clemente. Watch out for that name, Jay Clemente.
I've
Kid
heard
out of Stoneman Douglas was a kid that I didn't really think was going to make it to Florida, and he did. And because of that, I think he's going to be a stud. I think we'll see him as a midweek
heard
guy.
him a lot during the fall when they were playing.
Yeah. Another pitcher that I like to remind people, Tyler Nesbitt. Tyler Nesbitt was a freshman All-American. He got hurt, but this is still a talented arm. This is a kid that went to the remember the the opening, like when they had that big tournament, like the Elite 11. So they have another version of that in baseball. It's called the WWBA Championship.
Right.
And Tyler Nesbitt was the MVP pitcher. Not MVP, MVP pitcher at the event. And he was committed to Florida Gulf Coast. 3 days later, ended up in Florida's class.
You said WWE. I immediately thought you was going to say WWE for some crazy reason.
No, it's...
Oh, God.
I don't know what WWBA stands for. Maybe World... I don't even know, honestly. I'm like Worldwide, Baseball Association or something like that.
Jerry, you got a question for Hector?
Yes, I do. I wanted to ask him, who is a guy on the roster that like you think will have like a breakout year, a year that nobody really sees coming?
I'm gonna go with probably Michael. What's his kid's name? I'm gonna probably go Tyler Sheldon. Tyler Sheldon's a guy that probably most people weren't that high on when he first committed to Florida. As a 2020 recruit, had an awesome JUCO career at Santa Fe. And I think he's a guy that's come in and he's going to earn early playing time. Like I said, I think he's my starting first baseman if I was Sully. And I think he's a guy that's going to hit and probably hit for a lot of power. I could see him, knocking, 10 home runs this season. The new Florida ballpark plays pretty easy to, depending on the wind. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's pretty decent. Like it's pretty fair. It's not hitter friendly or pitcher friendly. I think it's pretty fair ballpark, but there are some instances where the ball's carrying. If you get it in the air, it's going to carry a little bit. But Sheldon's got some big time power, and I think you're going to see a lot of that this upcoming season.
Don't tell that the Wyatt Langford and Judd Fabian, some of the home runs they hit last year, like some of them are still flying.
No. Langford hits balls out that off the bat, like okay, go fetch.
They're still orbit in space right now.
And Caglione too. Caglione hit one in Missouri that I thought he was going to hit the football facility.
My Lord.
Yeah, you see the kind of power some of these guys have. It's like, good Lord. Like there are some balls that I've seen. There's some home runs I saw hit last year where like you would see the ball in the air, but then it disappears.
It goes to space.
Yeah, it's pretty much gone. I'm like, okay, and you know it's going. You see the outfielder just turn around, and I know that feeling. As a former outfielder, I know that feeling where you see a ball, you know it's going. You know ain't no chance you're getting it. You just like, yep. Next batter. Let's see what happens. Let's see what you do. So yeah, I know that feeling. A guy I'm gonna pick that I think has a breakout year. I'm going to actually say. I'm gonna honestly say Pierce Capella in that Sunday role. And I know we didn't see a whole lot of it last year, but what we did see for him to come out there, that was his first career start, and to see him dominate the way he did, I'm like, okay, like this guy has it. Like there's something about him where you just see him, you just know he has it. Like he's one of those guys. I think he's gonna have a breakout year because we know about Brandon Sproat. We know about I keep forgetting his name. Hudson.
Hurston Waldrep.
Hudson Waldrep. We know about those two. But Pierce Capella is a guy that we saw him, but nobody really knows about him. I think people are going to find out a lot about him this year. I think he's going to be one of the best Sunday pitchers, if not the best Sunday pitcher in the country, in the SEC. I think he's one of those guys. I think he has a breakout year next year. This season.
For sure. I think, man, I am honestly, I see this Dale Thomas kid, all Sun Belt second team honors, and set career highs last year, Coastal Carolina. So I'm interested in seeing what he does for us, man. Coming over to UF, playing in the SEC, which we know it's the truth. So I want to see what he does. I want to see what he does for sure.
Yeah, appreciate you, Coastal Carolina. Y'all sending us some pretty good players. I mean,
hey man, Coastal.
Now he's sending us this kid Dale Thomas. Y'all got any more? Y'all got any more to try to get up out of there?
Well, they did bring over BT Ryapel.
Yeah. I mentioned him. They got any more?
Oh, come on, man! They're only a couple years removed from a national championship.
Yes,
it's a damn good program that they have over there.
They do have a great program.
I'm still trying to figure out how they won that year. That was a weird. That was one of those years I honestly thought Florida could win it all, and then you run into that Coastal Carolina team. It's like they just went on a run that nobody saw coming.
Right.
There's a lot of times Florida has gone to the College World Series, and you think this team is just better than everybody, but when you actually watch, but what I've noticed during my time covering college baseball, there's two major things that are very important when it comes to getting to the College World Series. There's two major things. You have to have great defense and great pitching.
Bro,
the reason why is because that ballpark is massive. It is without a doubt a pitcher's ballpark. So it doesn't matter how great your team is offensively, because there's a good chance that ballpark's going to hold that ball in, and it's not going to be able to carry out like, in mind of at your home stadium. Like if you're at Texas Tech has one of the smallest college baseball stadiums in the country. That ball is not going to carry out like it would at your home stadium. So we'll see. But I'm like I said, I'm a pretty big fan of what Florida's got going on right now.
For sure. I want to ask you too, man. So over the course of the last few years, pretty much has been that way for the last decade. But the SEC has been absolutely just brutal. So where do you see Florida falling this year in the SEC?
I think they're a top 3 team in the SEC. I think LSU's that team that you got to give them respect. It is a hell of a roster that they got over there. Tommy White, you got Tommy White and Dylan Cruz in the same lineup. Those guys could be the number 1 overall picks in back-to-back drafts.
Good.
You're talking about talent like that. It's just a really stacked team. You got a great head coach and a really, really, really good pitching staff. That they work the portal better than just about any other team in the country, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think Florida did a great job in the portal. They would have done really well if they were able to keep the Mercer kid, but kid ended up going in the 3rd round and signed for like 6 figures. So
God.
Or if we could have got Tommy White.
Tommy White was definitely a possibility, but at the end of the day, LSU. Heck, Hurston was supposed to go to LSU. A lot of people thought Hurston was going to go to LSU because he pitched against LSU and absolutely dominated that game. And that coach said after the game, was like, this kid's gross. Basically, he was very, very complimentary of Hurston. But at the end of the day, Florida was able to win out on that recruitment. That was huge because I think this pitching staff is a whole lot different without Hurston Waldrep in that rotation.
Yeah, and Hector just sent me the home run that Jack Caglione hit. And it did. I think it did hit that facility.
Well, it was 480 feet, so
yeah, he hit a 480-foot home run. And man, I mean, to see guys hit the ball that hard. I mean, come on now.
I mean, look at the size of the kid. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised Jay Bateman hasn't given him a call and seeing, if he's interested in playing inside linebacker for him next season.
I hate to do this, but Hector, that person you just mentioned would probably fumble that bag too. I'm gonna just leave it at that. He probably fumbled that bag too.
Oh, there's no way in hell that kid would play football at Florida. He already got Tommy John. He's not trying to risk. He's not trying to risk his baseball career with
A
you know.
torn ACL or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need that. But he'd have him enter the portal for some reason. Like, God, man, you couldn't even get him to play linebacker. He had to enter the portal. But
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Caglione hits 100 miles per hour this year, multiple times.
Oh my God.
He was a kid that was up to 98, and I was told he hit 100 times. He hit 100 a couple times in the fall.
that
Jesus.
I believe it. I saw what he topped out at coming out of high school before the Tommy John surgery.
98,
Yeah, that kid has a cannon.
and it's coming from the left side as well. He's not a right-hander throwing 100. It's coming from the left side, and it's
That's
coming at
scary.
you from an angle.
That's scary for a right-handed, especially if he
That's
throws inside.
Yeah.
GG's.
Like get set on fire.
Yeah, lot of talent in this Florida pitching staff. Another kid I want to mention. I feel like we're kind of forgetting about him. Brandon Neely. He was huge for the Gators last year when Florida was losing pitchers left and right, and they needed one of the freshmen to step up. This kid, absolutely stepped up and had some incredible games against some of the best offenses in the country. I think he's a guy that he'll be your fourth starter, basically like
A
he'll
midweek.
be a midweek guy, bullpen arm, depending on who you're playing that week. Like I feel like the first weekend he'll probably just be a bullpen arm. You just use him out of the bullpen. If you need to get 2 innings out of him, one of your starters goes 5, you can get 6 and 7 out of him, and then you go to your, he'll be a bridge guy. I think he's a hell of a bridge guy.
Yeah, and if you remember last year, they pretty much had no depth in the bullpen. So for them to be able to build some of that depth for this year and add guys, I think this is one of the deepest pitching staffs in the country. And I think there's 2 series that I'm looking forward to this year for Florida. Of course, is Vanderbilt. I mean, we play them every year.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to that one. That's going to be an instant classic once again. But I believe we play LSU this year as well. So I'm looking forward to that one too.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the schedule. I want to make sure. I know Florida plays Miami. Miami's always a fun weekend for me. Love watching that one. Ole Miss, great baseball program, coming off a national championship. So can't forget about that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
a good one.
yeah, and they were like everyone was like not happy that they made it to the tournament because everyone thought like they were below 500 in the SEC and they went on a freaking run. I remember they were in the Coral Gables regional and they just took it to everybody and they ended up winning the national championship over, I think, a much better team in Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's a much better team and they got beat. Tennessee, that'll be a fun weekend.
Oh my gosh, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's got to be a get back weekend, especially after what happened last year.
Yeah, and it will be. Unfortunately, it's in Knoxville. Unfortunately, no LSU on the schedule. LSU's not on the schedule.
Oh, I wanted to see that matchup.
Yeah, it's strange because they played them last year. So I'll just go over the home games, the home weekend stretches at Florida. So the first weekend on February 17th through the 19th, Charleston Southern. Then you got a midweek against South Florida on Wednesday. You have a 3-gamer against Cincy. Then you play Miami, which, that's always going to be a fun series.
Yeah.
Then you play Siena, and then you finally get into SEC play. Alabama will be a home series. Ole Miss is on the road. Auburn is a home series while Tennessee's on the road. Georgia's home. So that should be a fun one for Gator fans. Georgia's at home while they'll be traveling to South Carolina for that one. And the last couple SEC weekend series are split. So Missouri's going to be in Gainesville, Texas A&M at College Station, and then the last regular season game at Condron Family Ballpark will be against Vanderbilt. They'll have Vanderbilt, and then their last series of the season they'll be playing against Kentucky in Lexington.
See, I'm trying to get down there for the Georgia series because not only do I want to see the baseball season, but the softball team will actually be playing Georgia at home that weekend.
Oh, that's gonna be a heck of a weekend.
So
Festive.
I already know you're gonna be down there because I know somebody's gonna drag you down there. So don't even try and get out of it. You ain't gonna get out of it. You're going. You're going. But,
We'll see, man. I'm thinking about going to a game this year, a baseball game. That'll be pretty fun.
Yeah, I want to go to a baseball game, but I want to go to a softball game because I've never seen them play. The last time I tried to see them play, it was funny. It was against Georgia, and they were sold out, so we couldn't go. And I was like, man, one time we get a chance.
The softball crowd is usually pretty strong over there.
Yeah,
they have some pretty good supporters. I remember when they were making their last run to the Women's College World Series, you could actually see like a bunch of football players in the background, like sitting behind home plate watching the team.
I think
Jeremiah was still on the team.
Was it last? I think it might have been last spring, but I went to go hoop at the rec center, and like I think there was a game going on. It was packed. I'm like, dang. So yeah, definitely a great crowd.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Walton's built a hell of a program at Florida, so people will come.
No doubt.
People should, how people should come to Florida baseball games this year. I think it's going to be a really good team. I think this is a team that Florida fans will be, excited to see because, football and basketball haven't, produced, lately. I think you're going to get a lot of production from the baseball team. I think, you're seeing a lot of the top 20 preseason top 25s come out. Florida's a top 8 team in the country. Collegiate Baseball newspaper actually had Florida the number 2 team in the country. But D1 Baseball, which is the one that I usually trust the most, they had Florida ranked number 7 in the preseason poll. Yeah, that came out yesterday. I think that's a good spot for Florida. I feel that's fair.
Especially because if you remember last year, they were also really young as well in a lot of spots.
They were very young in the pitching staff mostly. A lot of young freshman bullpen.
Like they showed much, but they got beat up too.
Yeah, and the bullpen was very inconsistent. It's youth, it's the inexperience. That was anticipated. You were gonna have some issues with the bullpen. The one issue I do have with Florida this year is I look at their hitting, and there's a lot of swing and miss in this lineup. There's a lot of guys that will strike out. There's not a whole lot of, contact guys. I feel like there's a little bit more. There's more power. These guys. There's a couple guys in this lineup that are going to sacrifice power for contact. I mean, that's going to sacrifice contact for power. So I think you'll see a lot of strikeouts. I think BT Riopel is a guy that is going to strike out a lot, but he's also a guy that was all SEC first team last year behind the plate. So, you got to take the good with the bad, especially in today's game. Today's game, it's, a lot more strikeouts are happening.
Oh, speaking of behind the plate, another guy we failed to mention, Renee Lastris.
Well, he had Tommy John last year, so I'm not sure how his arm is. I expect him to play maybe as a DH. I'm not sure what the arm is going to be like. However, Florida did sign their top commit was a catcher, Luke Kamen, who honored his commitment. He's at Florida. I feel like he'll be, the number 2 catcher behind the plate. He was the only perfect game All-American on the team, and he actually was the MVP in the game because I think he went like 2 for 3 and he homered in the Padres Stadium. Kid's got really good bat, got good glove skills. I think he'll be a nice number 2 behind the plate. Give BT, rest.
Oh man, so that's good. We got more All-Americans coming on campus, guys that actually make it to campus instead of, I wish the guy that was drafted by the Rays wouldn't have been drafted so high. I mean, I was hoping and praying.
Yeah. Did you see the news on Andrew Painter?
No, I didn't. What happened?
He was named. So, for those of you who don't know, Andrew Painter was the number 1 recruit in Florida's 2021 recruiting class, which was the number 1 recruiting class in the country. He was their top guy. Ended up going first round to the Philadelphia Phillies, 13th overall pick. after one full year of minor league baseball, was named the number one right-handed pitching prospect in all of baseball, according to MLB Pipeline.
Wait, does that mean he could possibly get called up this year?
He's 19 years old, and I don't count it out.
That's amazing.
That's
He-
I mean, granted, this is a kid that was 6'7", was throwing 90 miles per hour at the age of, as a freshman in high school. He's 6'5", 217. His first full year in baseball, he posted a 6-2 record with a 156 ERA in 22 starts, struck out 155 batters and only walked 25 in 103 innings pitched.
My God.
And also pitched in Double A. Pitched 5 games in Double A, 2-1 record, 251 ERA, struck out 37 in 28 and 1/3 innings, and his whip was under a 1 in both situations.
Oh my God, that is.
In other words, the kid was lights out. He played in A ball, and he started in 8 games and had a sub-1 ERA.
That is crazy. So is he going to start out in Double A this year or Triple A?
Double A. I think he starts in Double A. He'll be 20 this upcoming season, by the way. He'll be 20.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think he gets called up. I really do think he gets called up.
It really depends on what the Phillies' pitching situation is. He's 20 years old. You don't need to rush him. And to be honest with you, it's probably best if you hold him down so you get more, years of control with him. Unless you absolutely need to call somebody up, or he's just showing you that, minor league baseball is boring and he deserves to be in the big leagues. That might be a situation.
The man is ready to live in Philly, man. He's tired of living in middle of nowhereville.
Well, he's in Clearwater.
Well, no, never mind. It's not a bad place. No,
I think that's where the subway place is.
He can stay in Clearwater. That's perfectly fine.
Let me see. No, he's actually in Reading, Pennsylvania. His A ball was in Clearwater.
All right,
he's in Reading, Pennsylvania.
It's time to get him to Philly. I'm pretty sure he's tired of living in the middle of nowhere. It's time to get him to Philly.
Well, I know he lives here. He lives in South Florida in the off season.
I see. It makes me wish we could have possibly gotten him, but really Chase Petty. That was the one that got me.
Well, I mean, you could point at all those guys and like, man, what if Florida got this guy or this guy? You could just say, hey, Brady Singer was one of those guys, and Florida's actually able to get him. And you saw what happened to Brady Singer when he was here at Florida. He was lights out.
Right. And of course, it's not the camera because of a rain delay. We saw that side of him too. So
I actually love that side about him. Are you kidding me? That shows me that he wants to be out there, super competitive. And we all saw the season he had in Kansas City. He's by far their best pitcher, and he got picked up on Team USA, so he'll be pitching for Team USA this season. I mean, in the World Baseball Classic.
Yes, love to see that. Speaking of former pitchers at Florida, like how's Jackson Kowar doing?
Bouncing around from the big leagues to AAA. He's just trying to find his footing in the big leagues. We'll go to AAA, do what he does. He does well, gets to the big leagues and kind of just doesn't. Right now, he's just trying to figure himself out in the big leagues because he's shown in the minors that he's capable of being a really good minor league arm, but he's got to show it in the big leagues.
Yeah, figure. I mean, man, just hope he gets it together. He can get up there with Brady Singer.
Yeah. I mean, he's 20. He'll be 26 next year, so
I know he definitely needs to figure it out then. But looking at the rest of his roster, I guess another question I would have would be, I think you said Michael Robertson will probably be your leadoff guy. If that's the case, would that push Wyatt Langford to the cleanup spot?
I think, maybe third batter in the order, third, fourth, somewhere in the middle of the order. I haven't had time yet to actually draw a lineup, like a mock lineup. I will do that later on. You'll see that either later on this month or early next month as we get closer to the season. I'll have that on firstandtenflorida.com. What I'll do is I'll do a preview. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing like position previews for each position at Florida, and then kind of just come up with a season preview and then some predictions that you guys can hold me accountable for.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that sounds good to me as well. But yeah, because Wyatt Langford, like I said, I think he's gonna pick up where he left off last year, and it wasn't just the power with him; it was his batting average was up there as well. But
he can run. He's surprisingly fast.
Yeah,
there's times like he beats out ground balls. I'm like, how does a kid that big and strong run that fast and beat out ground kind of like routine grounders, like maybe a little bit, deep in the hole, like a backhander, and he's beating him out like nothing. I'm just like, what's going on? How are you able to move like that and also hit like that?
Right. Yeah, it's just some things you just can't explain, and that's one of them. But I'm looking at, I think he's one that can hit for contact if he wants to. But do you think, like, with this lineup, whoever's out there, you think they'll actually start playing a little bit more small ball in a lot of these situations as well? Because that's something that I noticed that they didn't really do a whole lot of last year, but when they did, they were somewhat successful. Do you think they play a little bit more small ball this year, with situational baseball and everything?
It depends on the player, really. I mean, are you really going to put Jack Caglione or BT Riopel to bunt? No.
No,
you're not putting those guys to bunt. You're letting those guys swing the bat. Michael Robertson, lay down the bunt. Richie Shikofer, lay down the bunt. Rivera, lay it down. Halter, lay it down. Thomas, lay it down. But you're not going to look at some of your best power hitters, guys that have probably been never asked to bunt in their life, to drop one down. You're going to let those guys swing away and do what basically what you recruited them to do. Hit and hit for power. So, I think you have guys that are capable bunters. I don't think you're going to see like a whole lot of like Enrique Bradfield at Vanderbilt. There's not a whole lot of guys like him. Guys that are elite speed and can just lay the bunt down, and if they don't bunt it directly at the pitcher, they're safe.
I will tell you personally, as a former baseball player, I'll bunt if they ask me to, but I didn't really like it because I wanted to hit the ball.
Yeah, if I was ever asked to bunt, no one ever anticipated me to be standing on first base. It was more of, hey, move over the runner. We got no outs. When you run at second, we want this guy 90 feet away.
Right. Yeah, see, we need that situation. Yeah, I'll put the bunt down. I ain't happy about it. I want to drive in and win the run, but like if we want them in that situation, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's the same with stealing bases. I would literally steal bases without a sign. Like, what are you doing? I gave myself my own green light because I'm gonna get there.
So if you're fast, why didn't you bunt? See, I'm just slow. I'm slow, so there's a reason why I'm not bunting. But see, I can lay down a great bunt, and I'm still probably gonna get thrown out.
But see, Hector, here's the thing, because I can actually hit the ball too.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're a little bit of a slump, you know what you can do? Guys with speed, lay one down.
I'll drag bunches to get something going. Like, okay, drag bunt, and all of a sudden I'm down at first base without a throw.
Yeah, if I drag bunt without my coach giving me a sign, he's gonna throw his hands up in the air like, "What are you doing?"
He's gonna yank you from the game. I'm just kidding.
Get him out of here.
He's gonna look at me like, "What were you thinking?" Third baseman was playing back, and maybe if I lay down an absolute perfect bunt, I have a shot.
Now this is gonna be a tough one for you, a tough prediction because we're in the prediction business, as we all know with you. Stop giving us bad news, by the way. But of the three pitchers, the three starters on the weekend starters, which one do you think has the best record?
I'm gonna go with Waldrep. And the reason why I go Waldrep is because he'll be the Saturday guy. And I don't think there's many Saturday arms that are as talented as Hurst Waldrep. So because of that, I feel like Florida, he's going to allow less runs. Florida's offense is going to, have more success against any other team's number 2 than most teams are going to have against Florida's number 2. In that situation, I think his win percentage will be higher because he'll be, I think every arm he will probably see this season is not at the same level as he is. There might be 1 or 2 arms that he'll see that he'll go up against that are kind of at his level.
Right.
But, this is a kid that I think will be a top 15 pick, and he's not even your ace.
Yeah, and speaking of, I saw a mock draft, I think, that had Wyatt Langford. I saw one that had him as the number 1 overall pick, and another one that was like number 4 overall pick in next year's draft. So, if he puts together the kind of season I think he can, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. And with Hurst and Waltrip, I agree with you on that because of everything you just said. The fact that he's one of those guys that on any other team, he's probably the Friday night guy.
Yeah.
He's coming to Florida as he went from being a Friday night guy at Southern Miss, a really, really good baseball player.
Well, actually, he was actually their Saturday guy as well because they had a senior there that was really good as well that he ended up getting drafted. But he was their Saturday guy, but he was easily their best pitcher. He was just Saturday guy by title. But if you really look at the numbers, he was their ace. And he was actually a 13-team All-American last year.
And see, you have that kind of pitcher coming to Florida. In that pitching staff, he's the number 2 guy. And like I said, would be an ace on pretty much any other team. And I'll go as far as to say, Pierce Capala, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if there are any Sunday guys with his level of elite stuff as a pitcher.
I don't think
a lot of Sunday guys with stuff he has.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Sunday guys throwing 95 from the left side. You really only get that in the SEC. Really just depends with Capala is, we know what he's capable of. It's just more of him actually doing it for a full season. That's the only thing. We need to see him, be the type of arm that we know he is and what he's capable of. We just actually need to see it happen this upcoming season.
Yeah, definitely got to keep him healthy. With the back issue.
Yeah.
The
back's improved. He got surgery on it last season and was actually hanging around the TB12 building in Tampa Bay, rehabbing his back. He was there a lot, and I think it's done a lot of good for him. I think that back won't be an issue this year. Hopefully it's not. But you were talking about Waldrep and Saturday arms. I'll give you a perfect example. It's like Jackson Kowar when he was the Saturday arm in Florida with Brady on Fridays. Jackson Kowar's only had 1 loss when he was the Saturday starter, even though his numbers were not even close to what Brady Singer's were. But when it's Friday night guy in the SEC, it's, a lot of them can be at the same exact level. So it really just depends on what your offense does that day.
Yeah, because Brady Singer had losses where the team lost like 2-1.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, he pitched as best as he could, but
and he'll also have some wins. like when Florida beat Casey Mize, Casey Mize was the number 1 overall pick that draft class, the same draft class as Kowar and Singer. Brady won 2-1, and that was like, and those guys were like, who's going to be the number 1 overall pick? That was basically that duel because both those guys were easily the best 2 right-handed pitchers in the country. And that game ended up being 2-1 because India hit a home run early in the game, and then I forgot how Florida scored the second one, but I remember India homering, and India ended up being the 5th pick that same draft.
Think about the talent that was on the field that night, that particular weekend.
Yep, and a lot of it, and really for Auburn, there wasn't too much. It was mostly just Casey Mize. It was a lot of talent on Florida side and the best pitcher in the country on the other side. And you have some talented guys at Auburn, but not at the same level as what what Jonathan India was doing and some of the other guys in that lineup. And there was also the year that J.J. Schwartz figured it out his senior year. So J.J. Schwartz looked like freshman Schwartz.
Yeah, Jonathan India needs a Head and Shoulders commercial at this point. Just put him and Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence in the same commercial. You said what?
You just got to Cincinnati.
No, that too. I mean, the Chicago Cubs will take you. I mean, the Cubs will.
Maybe don't start.
Maybe the Marlins. Maybe the Marlins, since Miguel Rojas. I know that hurt you, Hector. Sorry.
No, I was fully anticipating it. It was a move that I actually wanted the Marlins to make. I was ready for them to move on from Miggy Rowe. I mean, I appreciate everything he's done for the Marlins, but at the end of the day, the Marlins need to get younger and they need to get more offense. And you're not going to get that from Miggy.
Just bring up Victor Mason.
Absolutely not. Do not speak ill of me. Do not wish ill of me.
You don't like him?
Have you seen his numbers?
They're that bad?
Dude's batting like 100 in Double-A, and he's 26.
Oh God!
Yeah, the Marlins spent $5 million on a guy that can't get out of the minors and can't hit for an ounce of power.
Well, bring him up then. I mean, he might do something. I'm just kidding.
Absolutely not.
But,
Go ahead, throw a chair out there.
Man, that's wild. But I guess Jerry, you got any final questions?
No final questions here, man. Pretty much just excited about the season to see where everything goes. I think, like I said last year, we did the same preview. Consistency in the bullpen, I think, will be the key for us. And defense. If we can kind of keep it together, I think we'll have a good shot at having a deep run, bro. But we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I am as well. And I guess my last one before we wrap it up, Hector, what do you think? I guess record-wise, what do you think their record is and where they finish in the SEC?
I think this is going to be a 40-win team. They're going to have over 40 wins, probably like around 45 wins throughout the entire season. I feel like this is a team that's going to be hosting a regional. It might even be good enough to host a super regional. And if Florida can stay healthy and Florida can play to their capabilities, I think this is a team that can make it to Omaha. And I mean, if you make it to Omaha, just you never know what's going to happen. So I think this is a very talented team. I think this is the best team Sully has had since that 2020 team that unfortunately for Florida fans didn't get to fully enjoy because of the pandemic. But that was a fun season. Only one loss the entire season.
Oh, that was a national championship caliber team.
Yeah, I think this is right. I think this might be, and to be honest with you, I don't even think that team was all that great. I think you would have seen them come down to reality, heading because they were heading right into the SEC schedule.
Yeah, they were rolling.
Yeah, I feel like eventually you would have seen the decline happening, but it never ended up happening. I think this might be the most talented team Florida's had since 2019.
Oh no, it happened. It just happened the very next year.
Yeah.
It happened.
It was bad.
What happened? Because it was based on that same team, and then it's like, all right, let's let really hit and let's see what happened. Yeah, I think the same thing. I think SEC wise, they're still doing divisions right now for baseball, right?
What happened?
Are they still doing divisions like the SEC East and West for baseball, or are they just putting it all together now?
It's kind of all together. When it's the SEC tournament, they just have a bracket, and they don't really do it by divisions. It's kind of just like all together.
Because I see them as a top 3 team in the SEC. I think you're going to see LSU up there. You're going to see Vanderbilt up there. And I think you're going to see Florida and Tennessee as well. I think those are going to be, in my opinion, your top 4 teams in the SEC. So I think those 4, when the SEC tournament happens, they get to buy into the next round, the double buy. And so I agree with that. I think they're going to be around a 43, 45 win team. This is a team, this is a roster, when you look at it, they could definitely make it to Omaha. So, like you said, if you make it to Omaha, you never know what happens.
Anything can happen.
You said what?
Anything can happen at that point.
Yeah, anything can happen. So
As we've seen.
yeah, that's what we've seen because y'all know that 2017 team was really good, but like you were still a little wary. Like, could they actually finally get it done? And they did. And I think this is one of those things where I think we're gonna enjoy this season. We probably have one boneheaded loss that we shouldn't have in the midweek, against like a Stetson or
That happens every year. I
Yeah,
mean,
this
you gotta remember sometimes these schools will throw their Friday night guy at you just to mess with Florida, and Florida will also be resting. Use some of those games to rest some of their starters that have been playing a lot or that have been slumping, and they need a day off just to take their mind off the game so they can regroup and refocus. So, I mean, those midweek games, Sully can does not care about those midweek games. Those are practice games to him.
Florida State.
He really cares about the SEC schedule. That's what he really cares about, and also Miami weekend.
Yeah, Miami, Florida State one is midweek too. I think he cares about that too now.
Yeah, well, I mean that's obviously it's Florida State, but like if you're playing like FAMU, he's not the thing Cookman. He's not going to have that same intensity as if he was playing against Vanderbilt or LSU or Miami or Arkansas.
He ain't gonna care about that. That's the game. Yeah. Appreciate you for coming on tonight, Hector. Let everybody know where they can follow you and read your stuff and everything and all the bad news that you've been giving us for the past 2 months.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think I've been giving you guys some pretty good news.
Been trying to avoid Hector.
What bad news have I posted lately? Gosh.
How about the Jalen Hayward commitment prediction?
Jalen what?
The safety in 2024 that just committed to Georgia.
Oh my God!
I predicted him in Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. That's bad news.
Yeah, but not wrong though.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I'm lying to you guys. I'm honest. It would be worse if I tell you, hey, he's coming to Florida, and I know he's not. I'm not going to lie to you. Would you rather be lied to, or would you want me to tell you the truth?
No, that's true. I mean, because the fan base is going to implode anyway, whether it's the truth or not. So,
don't trust such and such because he has fake news.
I don't think anybody's ever told me I've had fake news. I haven't had that yet.
Yeah, Hector.
I need somebody to challenge me.
Real quick, let me tell you before we get off here. Remember Lewis Carter, right? So remember when Florida was going to have their Friday night lights, right? This group chat that Jerry was in before they just threw him out for some reason. We're all in it. The list comes out, and I literally told them, do not expect Lewis Carter to show up. Jerry, you want to tell Hector what they did to me in that group chat?
Bro, so basically they just bombarded this man and started calling him all types of crap about like how they usually do, just kind of jumping on people that have a different opinion. And AB came to our personal group chat and he was like pissed off. And then later on that night, he didn't show up, and like nobody just.
I was gonna say, what happened 2 hours later when they updated the list? Whose name was off the list?
Yeah, he wasn't there.
I went right back to the group chat with the eyeball emoji, like tried to tell you guys, but no, y'all want to throw stones at me.
Yeah,
just telling the truth. You can't tell the truth nowadays at this point. So Hector, I get it. I understand. Telling the truth sometimes hurts.
Yep.
So let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and where they can read your stuff.
So yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Hector_baseball. And for anything else, if you want to read, if you're interested in Florida Gator baseball, basketball, football, we cover it all at First and 10 Florida on Rivals. And if you for some reason want to watch some Rutgers baseball, Rutgers baseball had a historic year last year, and I think they're going to have another really good year this upcoming year. I think they'll finally make it to the NCAA tournament. You can follow us on the Night Report on Rivals. Me and Richie do a really good job, and everybody else over there are doing a fantastic job covering Rutgers sports. And I'll tell you this, man, their baseball fans are very, very passionate. They absolutely love baseball, and they're diehards. They absolutely follow it to the T. And actually, Todd Frazier started getting more involved He's alumni at Rutgers, so that's pretty cool.
That's good. And you know, I'm gonna be keeping an eye on Rutgers baseball, so I'm gonna see what they do this year. Because if you say that they can hit the way they can,
Hey, man.
I definitely want to see that. I definitely want to see how they do. So
They have one of the best players in the country, Ryan Lasco. He's a center fielder. He'll probably be their leadoff guy, but a guy that can possibly hit 20 home runs this year at Rutgers.
That's crazy. A leadoff guy hitting 20. What we had Wyatt Langford leading off for us last year. He hit like 30 of them. So yeah, it's possible. Well, yeah. We definitely appreciate you for coming on, man. And you know, we'll definitely have you back on during the season as well. And what we're gonna try and do is get both you and Nick Delatorre on at the same time. So if there's a bad stretch of baseball that happens, we can get you two on to calm the fan base down. Because you know how they are.
Absolutely. That'll be fun.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Definitely.
Have a good one, guys.
You too, man.
See you.
That was Hector Rodriguez. Always great having him back on. It's been a while. We definitely had to get him back on. So yeah, Jerry, you learned a lot about the baseball team coming up. So
I learned a buttload, bro.
You gotta tune in. You gotta go to some games.
Yeah, man. My only concern is the Nats, but other than that, I mean, I definitely gotta go to one.
And softball,
honestly, bro, I think like Ice be more invested in the softball team than the baseball team. Just being honest.
Yeah, I think we know why, but we ain't going.
Bro, freak out here.
What did I do?
You're what was her name? Akazi?
Cassia?
Yes.
Yeah, Alicia Cassia.
She was a hooper. And we had Hager.
We had like Hannah Rogers, Lauren Hager.
She was a baller. I mean, like those girls are nice. So,
like they went back to back for a reason. Like, dude, who's hitting? And then Lauren Hager's not only striking out, she's hitting 400-foot home runs herself.
Yeah. She was dominant, bro. Like she had an attitude. She knew she was a beast. So those times are good, bro. Those times are good.
Yeah.
But when we got blasted by Oklahoma, I wasn't happy about that. But we leave that in the past.
I don't know why you weren't happy because we all knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, that was sick.
We all that team was generational.
Yeah, they were a juggernaut.
Yeah, they were generational last year. They're gonna lose Jocelyn Allo. They lost her and they don't have her this year, and they're still gonna be loaded.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah, I don't think they care who they lose. They're just gonna plug somebody else in, and they're gonna hit 70 home runs in their career, maybe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to that.
Yeah.
We know why you was at the softball games. We know why. Because
Bro, no, I used to watch. We had Brady Singer and all those guys, but I don't know. I just like the softball team, bro. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I can say some stuff. But I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just saying.
Was it because they were really good?
Yes.
Well, they were better than the baseball team half the time. So I mean, they were more interesting to watch.
Like they just had that fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Because I know when they on TV, they playing like Tennessee or somebody like that, but they playing Bama. I'm watching. I'm invested. Yeah. I'm investing like I'm at the game. Like I'm in the dugout. Like, hey, man. Like,
yeah, bro. It was exciting.
So, Leah's going to drag you anyway to a softball game, so you might as well get prepared for that.
We're going to see, man. We're going to see. We're trying to figure something out.
Right now, looking at tickets. Yeah, so we're going to this softball game. Clear your schedule for that weekend because we'll be at every single one of these games. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I don't know. She likes softball like that, man, or baseball. I think more so basketball, football, mostly football.
Do you really want to get dragged to a basketball game right now,
bro? I almost went last week to the Missouri game.
Good thing you didn't. We might have lost. I'm totally joking,
bro. What's our record? I think we might be undefeated, huh?
We're 10-8 and 3-3.
No, I'm talking about whenever I win. I think I was undefeated whenever I went. I think I went to the Ole Miss game. Who else we play? I forgot who else we played.
Well, you need to start going.
Yeah, we do good whenever I go, bro. We do.
Even if it's road games, you need to start going.
Oh, Vanderbilt. We played Scottie Pippen Jr. I was there.
You went to the Vanderbilt game last year.
Yeah.
In Nashville.
No, in Gainesville.
I was gonna say, no wonder we somehow came back and won that game in Nashville. Jerry was that.
That was weird.
I went to go do laundry. I had to put clothes in dry. We were down by like 3. And I don't know how many seconds was left. I come back. These dudes the won. The guy was like, "The heck? What?"
I think Scottie Pippen Jr. smoked some free throws, didn't he?
I rewinded it because I'm like, "What happened? How did we win?" So I rewinded it, and I think that's what ended up happening. He missed the free throw, and
he smoked the free throws,
and we ended up winning the game. I'm like, "You got to be kidding me right now!"
Yep.
I went to go do this laundry, and I missed this.
Typical Mike White win, bro. Where you have 10 heart attacks during the game.
Speaking of which, yeah, they lost last night. They had that big lead on Kentucky and fumbled the bag because they allowed Oscar Sheetway to have 37 points on him.
24 rebounds.
I mean, the man pretty much. I'm not looking forward to playing them. I mean, I know they haven't been great, but I'm not looking forward to them playing them. I don't want Oscar Sheetway to have 20 rebounds on them. That just can't happen.
We just got to get Jatobo to come in and be useful.
He got to get 4 or 5 fouls in the game.
Yeah, but just see, you want Jatobo to get fouls, but like when you try to get Jatobo in the game to get fouls, he gets fouls in a hurry. He gets like 3-4 fouls in like.
I'm gonna need his first foul when he in against Sheetway. Like Sheetway got to be going for a shot. He got to come down and come down hard on him like that. I'll need you to beat him up a little bit.
He was like Dennis Rodman or something, bro. Man is.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that now. You do Dennis Rodman, you might get thrown out the game nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays.
Bad boys Pistons. Dude.
He's just super strong, bro.
Bill Man Beer. If you foul me like that.
Yeah.
Like we gonna have to fight. I'm punching the knee or something. You be out for the season. But yeah. You got any final thoughts on anything we discussed tonight? Whether it be portal or baseball?
Well, I kind of gave my final thoughts on baseball with Hector. I think just as far as football, man, I'm not really sure what to expect. But because I think what's going on is like the NIL and the transfer portal and all that stuff is kind of
it's out of control.
It's out of control. So like I really can't. It's like it's kind of hard to invest. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to become really, really invested when all this stuff is happening.
And it's like no rules are really enforcing it. And I think nothing's gonna snap back until that happens, until you get like a cap on NIL or in the transfer or you get rules on it. Like nothing's gonna really. How the hell did that go in? Sorry, I was watching the Lakers. And De'Aaron Fox hit a 3 and like rolled in, hit the backboard, and then rolled out and rolled back in. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You have to put some rules in place for this because right now it's just open season. Like it's clearly paid for play. A lot of illegal, shady stuff is going on. We can definitely see that.
Yeah. Somebody asked me, bro.
So, especially with a certain team down in 305.
Yeah. Someone asked me. They said, "Do you think Georgia's dirty?" I was like,
"It's the sky blue."
Like, yeah, they're dirty. Yeah, they're dirty. You know, so I don't want us to have to be that dirty, but if that means us winning games,
if we got to do that to win games, win championships, hey, I know what to do.
Yeah, man. Well, we got to get serious about what we're doing. I think Napier is. I just think it's kind of like
I think he's hated, to be honest.
Yeah, right. You can kind of tell
because I know he don't want to like get crazy and cheat, but you know he wants to be able to recruit the way he recruits, but his hands are kind of tied. So it's like
it's a bad situation for him. I feel bad for him because he's now in a tough spot because if he doesn't improve from 6-6 next year, it's going to be a lot of heat on him, you know? Like, people are expecting him to go maybe like 8-4, 7-5. But I can see it's going 6-6 again. But
if we go 6-6 again,
I can see it.
I'm going to find some way to keep you from even predicting any games. ever. And let's see what else.
6-6 with Graham Mertz at quarterback. I think that would. I mean,
I think we're gonna clip this and send it to half the team, and so they can use it as motivation. Jerry here does not believe in y'all.
it's not that I don't believe in him. I just think it's just the camaraderie. I don't know if it's going to be there, and filling in all these gaps and losing Osiris Torrance is huge. It's just a lot, man.
Like a Bazooka though, who graded out really well last year.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if he's gonna come in and be first team All-American like Osiris was, but I think he's a very, very capable guard that can come in,
right?
Maybe be all SEC at least.
Yeah, I think we'll know a lot by the spring game, bro.
Yeah, no. And speaking of which, if that gets moved to a Thursday night, I'm gonna have to slap somebody.
Yeah, that should never happen again.
Like Utah dropped their schedule and it says August 31st or September 2nd. I don't want that game moved Thursday night. I'm sorry. I can't have that happen.
Mm-mm.
Like we already had to play on a Friday night this past season against Florida State.
Yeah.
That was weird. I don't want to play on Thursday. No. Scott Strickland, if you see this, bro, we do not want to play on Thursday night.
We don't.
All right. Like fans actually want to go to the game. And if it's on a Thursday night, how the heck they supposed to go to the game?
It'll be little to none fan support.
Yeah. Keep it on Saturday so there'll be some sort of fan support.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't gonna be a lot, but it's gonna be some.
Yeah, because at least like Utah last year, they got to come in, like they had a really, really good showing of fans, you know. So I think it would only be fair if we did the same thing and they gave us a chance to.
Shoot, their writers were the ones that were shocked. I never get the video. I saw the lady who reports for Utah. She was like, I've been in a lot of stadiums. I've never in my life been in a stadium that like they said the SEC is different. Oh yeah, it's different. That crowd was crazy. I was just watching at home. I could tell that crowd was crazy. I wanted to go to that game so bad.
Oh, that was a great game to go to, bro. I was excited.
I wanted to go to that game so bad, man. I was so mad when we won. I was like, dang.
I lost my mind. I lost my mind in that game. I really did.
Like, I just wish I was in the stadium to just see us win like that with Amari Burney getting an interception. If I would have been in the stadium and saw that, oh my God! I tell you right now,
I was hugging everybody.
I would have lost my mind.
The season kind of peaked there, though. Like, I don't like, you know how sometimes you get a good feeling about something, but you know it's like not gonna last in a way. Like it's kind of too good to be true.
Because we won. I'm like, we might have a chance, might be able to do something.
But when you
really think about it after that win, that's like one of those wins where you're like, okay, yeah, we made some mistakes, but we just beat a top 10 team who's a Pac-12.
So imagine if we have a really, really good game, then what we're gonna do.
Exactly. Like you're thinking that you're like, this team might have a chance because of it's like who they beat, and then the team ended up winning the Pac-12. They ended up winning the Pac-12, so it's like they're a Pac-12 favorite. You're like, okay, maybe they'll do something. And then the Kentucky game happens. It's like,
Kentucky always puts a dagger in whatever momentum we have in the season, like every time. Even if we win, it's still like if it's a bad win, we're kind of like,
yeah. Even like then we have the ugly win against US. When I tell you, when they missed that field goal, I literally fell out of my chair,
bro.
Onto the ground, on my knees, and start thanking the Lord that we won.
Last year was a horrible season for me.
Like I kept doing this all year long.
Yeah.
Grabbing my chest. Like was gonna give me a doggone heart attack.
Yeah, bro. That's pretty much it.
Like Florida football, like players, I know some of y'all watch this podcast, as we found out. Can you not give us heart attacks? Like, look, we invested just like y'all are. We want to win just like y'all do. Please don't give us heart attacks, though, man.
Yeah, I just need y'all to win at least 7 games. At least 7, and I'm good.
I want to win more, but if you can get to 7, hey, look.
Improvement.
I want to at least see improvement.
See improvement.
Now, Graham Mertz come out and somehow set the world on fire. I ain't saying he's going to do it, but if you do, look, man, hey.
I would like to get into some more stuff about that. and which I will, but I'm waiting till Mark gets home. But got a lot to dissect about the offense and what this will be and what can be.
Yeah, we gonna have to dissect the film. When we get Marcus back on next week,
Yeah.
I think what we gonna have to do is pull up all the Wisconsin film,
Yeah,
break it down to what we break down what we like, what we don't like. You know, we gonna have to really do that and give honest, objective answers. And everybody in the group chats and the message boards is going off. I'm gonna try and link y'all to the podcast, but hey, tune in next week. Y'all gonna want to tune in next week. We gonna break this film down.
Yeah.
So we gonna be objective. We gonna say what we like, what we don't like. You know, we're gonna like legit break this down. We're gonna be analysts, real analysts, not narrative pushing analysts.
Yeah, we ain't gonna push on narrative. That ain't what we want to do here.
Yeah, unlike somebody that's making $8 million a year at ESPN that just want to see a certain team just suffer. Yeah, I'm about sick of this. I'm about sick of being the laughing stock with him.
Certain people just have a lot of agendas in there, bro.
But yeah. You said we did one and done. We didn't do that. Now he on first six stands. No way in hell we beat the 49ers. So.
Well, yeah.
All right.
That's him. That's him.
Dak Prescott may not watch it. A lot of that team, a lot of the rest of that team do. You ain't doing nothing but motivating them. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, got a talented team, bro. I can't even lie to you.
And by the way, Dolphins fans might want to look at a quarterback.
Get out of here, bro. Nobody wants to talk about the Dolphins, bro. Give me a few days. Give me a few weeks. Give me a month.
Look, man, you know the Senior Bowl. Speaking of which, the Senior Bowl should be coming up soon. So Osiris Thorns will be playing in the Senior Bowl, I believe. I believe he will. Richard Garage.
Trey Dean is too, right?
I think Trey Dean is as well. Amari Barney, I believe, is playing as well.
Yeah, that's a guy that deserves to be drafted.
So, yeah, y'all tune into the former Gators when the Senior Bowl comes up. Probably update you next week on that, but y'all tune into that. It'll actually be in Mobile. I still have never been to the Senior Bowl. I don't know why. I want to get that day off one day just to go. Just to actually go to the Senior Bowl one day because I just want to go for the experience.
Right.
Like, and plus it's at Land People Stadium, which is a legendary stadium in Mobile. Although I will say, them rubber beads in the turf. Lord, don't be on that turf when it rains. That's all I'm gonna say.
No good, bro. No good.
It screwed up my shuttle time whenever I kept slipping.
Also, it's not good for your interior cruciate.
Your interior cruciate, ligament or any other ligament. Cruciate.
Any other crucial
any crucial ligaments that you have in your knees.
Yeah, bro, it ain't good for you. So
or even Achilles when it's dry.
Nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, so
yeah, that man, it's been a great episode. Wish we would have had Marcus on here, but again, we're gonna keep him in our prayers. Hopefully everything's all good. I mean, it was a last minute thing he had to do, so and then Jerry, he pretty much sent kids home crying. I'm just let y'all know that now. He's coaching kids in basketball, and yeah, he's pushing them too hard.
Not even, bro. I should be pushing them harder, but
they're 5 years old, man.
No. These are middle schoolers.
Are they going to be? Are there any potential lottery picks?
No. Well, no.
Yeah. You're pushing them too hard.
No. Last year there was a big time kid who's now an All-American. By the way, on shop my boy Hezekiah Kent for being a freshman All-American and for Kirby Smart coming to visit him in a chopper.
Get up out of there, Kirby. Get out of there.
It's disgusting.
Get out of there, Kirby, before I know something.
Kirby.
Get out of there before I know something.
If you're watching this and you're a Gator fan, follow Hezekiah Kent and get him to come to Florida. Send love.
I'm gonna throw another name out there. Follow Kobe Howard too.
Follow all these boys: Elias Williams, Kobe Howard, Hezekiah Kent.
I tell y'all all the time. I don't lie to y'all about these players in my city. I don't lie to y'all about them. I do not lie to y'all about them.
Me and AB, we not in Miami, we're not in Jacksonville, but where we are, there's like a lot of rich talent. So y'all gotta hear us out, bro.
I'm not lying to you. I'm trying to tell you. Last year's freshman was the best player in the area, not named Azareye'h Thomas. He was the best. He would have been the best player in the area this year until he got hurt. Put it this way: Raymond Cottrell from Milton, Florida, also near my area, just for signed with Texas A&M, right? Right?
He did what?
He signed with Texas A&M. Yeah, he signed with Texas A&M, right? Jerry, I'm gonna let you know right now. You shouldn't laugh at Georgia.
What did I miss?
He was pushed out of their class.
No, I'm just laughing because of how you tried to troll us, but okay.
Yeah. He's at Texas A&M, right?
Yeah.
He's a 4-star receiver, right? Top recruit. Kobe Howard was better than him already.
That's unreal.
That should tell you exactly how good this is. A kid that has offers from Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Florida State, Miami, South Carolina. He has like over 20 plus offers already, and he was just a sophomore this year.
My God.
He got half of those offers after his freshman season, where he led the team in yards and touchdowns as a freshman.
Yeah, we got to do that too, bro. I think it's important that people kind of know about a few of these 2025, 2026 kids, even past 2024. So we got to do like a little rundown of some guys, a few guys that we want to get on our team.
Will, and I don't know if Kobe's watching this right now because he's probably watching film, but if he is, what I'm going to try and do is get an exclusive one-on-one interview with him to kind of update him on his recruitment, his recovery from his injury, because he missed most of last year due to an injury that he suffered during the camp. So I'm trying to get in touch with him, see if I can do a one-on-one interview with him. Try and get that out there. Just kind of cover some of these guys, because that's one that I'm really following. So yeah, we're gonna try and get that out for y'all. We're gonna kind of do a breakdown. We got to get back to doing a breakdown of some of the recruits that we may want.
Yeah.
One guy I know of that we need to break down. Just recently got offered 2024, Draylon Miller. That's the one I want to break down the film.
Okay.
I won 4A Player of the Year in the state of Texas this past year. So
we must.
That tells you a lot.
Yep.
Man, another great episode. Who's got the song this week?
I think it might be you.
Oh, really? Me?
Yeah.
Well, if it is me, let me go to my exclusive playlist. That's all inclusive, like my Apple playlist, which, me and Apple Music, we finna fight. We finna get ready to fight.
Apple Music.
They keep taking music off.
Yeah, they do.
It's not in the it's not available in your region. Like, come on, man.
I know, it sucks.
The darn song yesterday, and y'all took it off. Look, they took Headlines from Drake. They took that off. Like, what's going on, people? This is unnecessary. This is nasty work. They expect us to pay, and y'all doing this to us. Jerry just texted me to play BB Rexa. I will not do that.
Play who?
He said play BB Rexa. I will not do that. I'm kind of feeling. I don't know if I want to do Jeezy or Ludacris.
Jeezy or Ludacris?
Maybe a song with both of them on there.
Luda.
Yeah. Which one should I be?
Luda.
Okay, I think I'm going to do that. But it's going to be a song where they both on there.
Okay.
And Jerry, you being from Georgia, you better know this one. Let me see this album.
Can't make no promises, man.
Oh, you'll know. It's from his album, Release Therapy album. I'm gonna go Grew Up a Screw Up with Ludacris and Young Jeezy.
I'm about to hear it and know it.
Oh, you'll know it. You'll
Okay.
know it. Like once we drop this episode tomorrow, you get to the end, you'll know it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Grew Up a Screw Up, Ludacris featuring Young Jeezy. I was listening, and that's one of the songs they also kind of took off. I was listening to it a couple days ago. I was like, dang, I forgot about this song and how much it hit. But yeah, by the way, Apple Music, y'all somehow following this, yeah. We fighting. We fight. I'm tired of paying y'all taking music off. I'm tired of this.
It's just weird. It's just weird, man.
I got to sue y'all to get my music back. I'll do it.
Like my playlist, it has like these songs that are blackened out, and I'm like,
yeah, it's like you listen to it the previous day, then the next day it's blacked out.
mm-hmm.
Oh God, what did Leah just send me? Hold on. Oh, from the shade, bro. I saw that earlier. I'm gonna have to send that to you.
Oh God.
I have to send that to you, and I got matter of fact, I'm gonna send something else to you real quick too. Hold on. So I'm gonna do that, but yeah, I'm gonna go with that and let everybody know where they can before we wrap. So let everybody know where they can follow you and your burner accounts and everything because you do have a lot of them.
I only got one, but y'all can follow me on Instagram at jlamar_ii and follow my Twitter at jbreezyii, and you can follow I am breezy ii on Twitter as well. You know, for trolls and giggles.
It's gonna be in the group text. What I sing. Hold on.
Okay.
You got to watch it. You got to watch. Once you watch that video, once you actually watch it, you gonna start watching this dude videos every day. He's funny, man. I'm telling you. But you can follow me on Twitter at AceWave1, on Instagram at Ace_Wave1. You can follow the podcast page on Twitter at Inside_Swampin, on Instagram at Inside_FloridaAthletics. We're gonna be back with more content as usual. Hopefully, we'll be back whole again next week.
Yeah, prayers, man.
Should be. Prayers up to Marcus. Jerry, clear your schedule, clear your calendar for Mondays and Tuesdays.
Mondays and Tuesdays.
Because you should be scheduling stuff. If you got to leave work early, you just got to do it.
Oh, you using drugs now. You talking money. We talking money.
Use PTOs to make it up.
I use PTO for actual vacations, brother.
Use a little bit of PTO to make up that money.
We gonna see.
No, you one of the ones that take off for vacation but don't actually go.
No. I do vacation, but like somewhat.
I know you lying. I know there's times when you've done it and then go to where you just needed time off.
No. It depends on what you call a vacation. I call a vacation rest. Restication.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Because see, I've done that. I took a whole week off because I needed rest.
Dude, that's literally you need it. You need it.
Like today, for example, I almost walked out. It was like 10:30. I almost walked out. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do this. When I tell you it was so hot in that building, let me tell you how jacked up this air conditioning system is. See, when we need the heater, because it's cold, it's all outdoors outside, 20 degrees outside. We need the heater. The heater don't work, but the air conditioner work. I got to cut the oven on the 400 and open it just to get some heat in there.
No, that's
hot out there, and we don't need the heater. We need the air. The heater all of a sudden want to work. The air want to go out. That's the situation we had today.
That's terrible.
I almost walked out. Look, man, I can't do this. I can't do this.
That's the enemy, bro.
Look, I was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna go to the boss, but hey, look, man, look, you want to fight?
That's the devil. That's the devil.
Like we got Satan up in here right now, just messing everything up. Like I can't do this.
It'd be like that, bro. Sometimes it just be like stuff be tempting you at where you be like, let me go home. Let me get my mind back.
I'm trying to tell. I'm like, hold on a minute. Like, no, I'm not gonna do this. Y'all ain't gonna do this to me. I'm black. We wearing dark clothes. I'm like, no.
It don't mix.
That don't mix well. No.
Yeah,
see,
it don't mix, bro.
Yeah, see, like we black. Like this is not gonna work.
Facts.
Like it can't happen. Yeah, we finna get up off here. Some of us actually got to go to work tomorrow, while some people gonna be playing hooky.
What?
Jared finna call out of work and say,
Oh,
I'm just not feeling too good right now.
No, bro. We got about maybe 20 plus patients tomorrow, full of fractures and all this stuff. So it's gonna be a lot.
He calling out tomorrow. He ain't gonna deal with that.
I can't call on my boy. If it was any other doctor, maybe, but I can't call on my boy. So
All right, he gonna hold you to that one.
yeah, man, I ain't gonna do it.
See, he's saying he ain't gonna do it right now, but for some reason he gonna get up the next morning, tomorrow morning, like,
No, I'm gonna this is only on Mondays do I feel that way. Every other day I'd be all right.
real quick. Like, you ever had one of them jobs where, you was feeling fine when you woke up, right? Then as soon as you walk in at the job, all of a sudden you just tired.
Yeah, like that's where you know you're not in the right place.
Yeah. I mean, like we all been there. Even people watching this, people listening to this more. We all been there. Everybody would have been sleep on the job. Yeah, we know. Yeah, man. Like, everybody been there. You know you're sleeping when you sleep standing up.
And you can't get no energy no matter what you do. It's just that ain't it.
Yeah, man. We know I've been there. Like I was like that last week, the whole week. If y'all was at my job last week, y'all would have saw me like swinging, just fighting, literally fighting sleep. It's almost like I'm fighting demons there. I'm fighting sleep and everything. When I tell you I'm fighting the hell out of sleep, I'm fighting.
Yeah, it's real, bro. That fight is real. I can't lie to you.
Like I be like drinking 2 Cokes just to wake up. And if that ain't working, look, man, I'm sorry. I got to get this coffee. Like, if you see me drinking coffee, I'm tired.
You just gotta take a break and like get your mind in a place where you kind of like get energy naturally.
I might have to take a mental health day one of these
No,
days.
like seriously, bro. Mental health day.
I think I'm going to do that one of these days.
Do it.
Yeah, everybody need one. Hey, if you need one, if you're watching this, if you listen to this, if you need to take a mental health day, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Because they replace you if something happened to you. So take a mental health break.
They ain't gonna do that at my job. They can't afford to do that right now. I leave if me or one of my other coworkers, both of us leave, yeah, they might be screwed.
They'll find a way.
Oh no, they won't. No, they won't. We got some unreliable people at my job.
Oh.
We got some of the ones that are calling out. And like, damn well you ain't sick.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like, come on, man! All of a sudden it pop up. No, it didn't.
Yeah, man. At that point, it's just like, what do you do from there? You just go into work, do your job, and when they come in, it's like you don't really want to talk to them, but you gotta just keep the vibes right.
That's weak.
Keep the vibes right.
No, I'll get my get back. Like if somebody call out on me and they supposed to be there, I'm like, all right, wait till next week when they schedule us. I get my get back too. Why are you calling out on me? Didn't you do to me last week? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way to go about it too.
We ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Like y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Follow us on there. And leave reviews. Give us like, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Leave reviews, good or bad. Hey, look, be honest. Let us know. We can take the criticism. Now, if you get disrespectful with it, we might have to pull up to your crib. But hey, we'll take the criticism though. But yeah, we gonna leave y'all as we always do. For your co-hosts Anthony Beck and Jerry Brown and Marcus Davis, we're gonna throw him in here too. Because he's not here, so we're going to have him here too. We're going to leave you as we always do. God bless. Stay safe. Go Gators. Take care of your mentals. Tell your loved ones you love them. Take care of your loved ones. Take care of your chicken. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. And in honor of Marcus, because he's not here to do this, I'm going to say it for him. Lord, forgive me, mom and dad, if you watch or listen to this, forgive me for this. Wash your nasty ass.
Oh my God. Yeah, please do. Right after you get done with this, go wash your tail. Use soap.
Use soap. Not just a little bit. Some of y'all might use a lot. But
submersible rag soap.
Yeah, wear your mask out there because COVID ain't gone. COVID ain't gone.
Yeah.
So
That it's up to you, but it's hey.
You want to be part of that gangster life fighting COVID? Hey, go and do it. Like, some of y'all ain't about that. Like y'all think y'all is till you get it.
You get it, yeah. Till you get it.
Yeah, you're gonna see how tough you really is. But yeah, take care of yourselves out there. Be safe out there. You don't get into no crime, nothing. Don't do nothing stupid to the kids that's watching, listen to it.
Don't
Be
speed.
aware of your surroundings and who you surround yourself with. Because who you surround yourself with is a reflection of you.
That's facts. AB spitting facts into this pod, boy.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
You preaching.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yep.
You never know. But y'all be blessed out there. God bless. Have a good night.
Good night, y'all.